Hi, I'm Andre and I'm a black nerd, and it's time again for What the Hell Riverdale? What the hell Riverdale? Dooba-dooba-doo. I know I'm late for this. Yes, I was out of town, so I didn't get to watch Riverdale when it came out this past Wednesday. I actually watched it on the CW app in the airport. That's how dedicated I am to you, having to use airport Wi-Fi and my phone to watch the latest episode of Riverdale. So if I missed something, don't blame me. Blame airport Wi-Fi. So let's get right into it with Archie. Archie is still shaken up from what happened with his dad getting shot at by this mysterious Black Hood, and nobody knows who he is or where he is, but it's really making Archie nervous. I should mention, I didn't mention this last week, but the Black Hood is actually a significant thing in the Archie universe. So Archie Comics has another publishing company called Dark Circle Comics, where they make more mature, more adult superhero and vigilante type of comics, and the Black Hood is one of those comics. There's different variations of the Black Hood, but the basic idea is it's kind of like a Punisher type, an ex-cop who's now a vigilante. I just thought it was interesting that they were able to use that name in this by making him this figure that everyone's trying to figure out who he is. And this is getting Archie so riled up that he's not sleeping, he's staying up at night, he's not staying in his room, he's standing out by the doors to make sure no one's trying to break in, because he's really worried that someone might be coming after him or his dad, especially since the Black Hood took his dad's wallet, which has all their information, including their address. Veronica tries to give him advice like go see the guidance counselor. Everyone's trying to help out, but his decision of trying to make himself feel better is to go to Asian dude bro Reggie 2.0, who apparently is a drug dealer in this version of Archie. I'll allow it. Reggie has a bunch of different types of drugs that he can sell you if you need it, and one of his most popular drugs is a drug called, and only in the Archie world could you get away with this name, Jingle Jangle, which apparently is like some pixie stick style drug from what we see later on in the episode. But yeah, Jingle Jangle is the name of the drug. They say this so many times in the episode, and I keep trying to keep a serious face with this because this is a real drug, but it's called Jingle Jangle. I kept thinking of that song from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Like, jingle, jingle, jangle, do you hear my sleigh bells ring? I am old Kris Kringle, I'm the king of jingling. What the hell, Riverdale? But Archie wants to get some jingle jangle from Reggie because apparently it keeps you up in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's a cross between uppers and Viagra. What kind of concoction of drugs are you making in Riverdale? Reggie Mansell is the one who knocks. And things get really scary for Archie when it gets revealed that Miss Grundy was also murdered by the Black Hood. Now Archie is feeling like that someone is going after all the people he cares about because he went after his dad, he went after Miss Grundy and killed Miss Grundy. Who's next? Archie is really concerned that maybe this killer is going after all the people that he loves. Betty asks Betty's mom to go do an autopsy or check out the autopsy of Miss Grundy, and of course they find out that she was strangled to death by the cello bow that Archie gave her as a gift. How symbolic. But they keep referring to it as a crime of passion. So Sheriff Keller and Betty's mom do not believe that they are related. Archie's like, okay, whatever. And then in his mind, he's going, no, they're related. Reggie pulls a prank on him of bringing over the Jingle Jangle. But dressed as the Black Hood, Archie starts to attack him. He jumps on top of him and punches him a couple times. And Reggie's like, whoa, if I was the actual killer, what would you have done? And Archie was like this. He's like, Archie, or Andrews. He keeps calling him Andrews. The Black Hood has a gun. You just tackled me. How are you going to tackle somebody and hit somebody with a bat when he got a gun? So now Archie needs a gun. Who do you get a gun from? Trusted Eagle Scout Dilton Doily. If you remember from last season, Dilton had a bunch of guns because he has this paranoia about thinking that at some point the apocalypse or the next world war or something's gonna happen and he needs to be prepared. Which apparently I'm hearing is even emphasized more in the comic books that's related to the show, so I'm gonna have to pick up all the comics, make sure I get caught up on that so I can get the full story. But bottom line, Dilton has guns. Archie now thinks he needs a gun, so Archie gets a gun from Dilton. And I gotta say, man, 2 episodes in, and I'm enjoying Archie's story arc way more than I did the entire first season. This is like really good stuff because now I feel like Archie is a central part and has a strong story in the show set in the Archie universe. It was kind of weird in Riverdale season 1 that some of the least interesting stories in the Archie world were about Archie. So I'm glad that they really gave him some good strong stuff this season. And KJ Apa is bringing it every time. So good job with that. But let's move on to Jughead and Betty because they're dealing with a bunch of stuff. Jughead Jughead, of course, is trying to get his dad out of prison, but it's not looking good. And then on top of that, his favorite restaurant, Pop Tate's Chocolate Shop, is on the verge of closing down because no one apparently wants to go to a restaurant where someone got shot at. Go figure. There's even one point where Jughead and Betty go see the mayor and they try to take care of both things at once. And Jughead at one point tells the mayor, "You remember this day when you turned your back on this town and my dad?" Because the mayor's like, "Look, your dad did some bad stuff and someone got shot at Pop Tate's. I ain't messing with any of that. Mayor trying to keep good presence. I'm Robin Givens. Out." And it gets even worse when FP's court-appointed lawyer tells him to take a plea bargain, which sounds really bad and could lead him going to jail for 20 years. Jughead does not want to see his dad go to jail, so he talks to his snake friends, the Southside Serpents, being like, "Hey, is there any way I can help my dad out? You know anybody?" And they go tell him to meet a woman named Penny Peabody. And I had to look this up because I was like, I don't remember that character from the Archie world, but any character named Penny Peabody is clearly a character that came from the Archie world. You don't just make up a name like Penny Peabody. Come to find out that Penny Peabody was the girlfriend of Fangs Fogarty, who was the main bully in the Little Archie comic books. Yeah, Fangs Fogarty was the big villain in the Little Archie comics. He was the main bully for Archie and the gang. He also, I think, appeared in the new Archie's cartoon. Penny Peabody was his lady, and kind of in the same vein of Moose and Midge, if you mess with Penny Peabody, you gotta deal with Fangs Fogarty, except that Fangs also just was a bully constantly. Like how Moose is like a friend, but also kind of a bully if you get on his bad side. Fangs was just an all-out bully. So this is a very deep cut to go find the girlfriend of the bully from Little Archie and make her a major character in this. And the fact that she's in this show kind of gives me the impression that Fangs Fogarty will become a character in Riverdale, and I am all about that. Will Fangs Fogarty be her boyfriend or her husband? Maybe he'll be her muscle, so if you don't do what she says and she's got to send somebody out to take care of things, Fangs is the person to do it. Could Fangs be the Black Hood? Who knows? I'm just saying, I have a feeling we're going to see a Fangs Fogarty in Riverdale, and I'm all about it. So Penny Peabody is a Southside Serpent who is now, I guess, a lawyer or is able to work in, criminal justice to try to help out the Serpents whenever they're in trouble. But you know how that goes. Penny does you a favor, you help her out, or you pay her. Probably means you're going to have to help her out at some point in return. Probably not a good relationship to have, an offer you can't refuse type of thing. But Penny basically tells Jughead, all you gotta do is get the Blossoms to show some mercy in the court to FP, take a formal apology in front of the judge, and that might bring down the 20-year sentence, make it a little bit more lenient because now they'll feel like that the Blossoms have accepted FP's forgiveness because he didn't kill Jason Blossom, he just happened to be involved. Of course, the Blossoms want nothing to do with it. They're like, he's a criminal, he needs to go away. Jughead doesn't know what to do. Betty goes up to Cheryl in the locker room where she is only in a red bra and panties. Y'all had some gratuitous shots in this week's Riverdale. Like, Archie is having a whole traumatic crisis, and yet you found a moment for him to open the door with that shirt off, and then Betty gotta go talk to Cheryl, and she just happens to be in this, like, red negligee bra and panties, and just talking the whole time before she puts any clothes on. You nasty, Riverdale, you nasty. But Betty basically blackmails Cheryl. She's like, look, if you do not go into court and testify that you give mercy and forgiveness to FP, you know that little video that we got of your dad shooting your brother, Jason Blossom? That's not on the internet yet. I think I'm gonna upload that to YouTube. Might get the yellow dollar sign, might not be able to monetize it or anything, but it'll be out there, it'll be trending. And again, man, it's just like, wow, Betty's this nice, sweet, caring character, but you get on her bad side and that dark Betty comes out and she just does some nasty stuff. So sure enough, Cheryl shows up in court and is like, I give forgiveness to FP. I understand that he did not kill Jason Blossom. He was just a victim of circumstance. We all good. Judge is like, no, I'm still not feeling it. And then Cheryl burst out, well, my dad actually threatened FP and said that if he didn't go along with this and didn't keep his mouth shut, that her dad would have also killed Jughead. And she says later that she lied on the oath, but correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't that a thing that actually happened? I feel like FP or somebody did say that Clifford Blossom did threaten him and say that if he said anything that Jughead would be in danger. I feel like that's something that actually happened. I can't remember if that's something that Cheryl knew about or she just said, but I remember that being a thing that happened at some point. So it was a lie that wasn't really a lie, but still was a lie on her oath for what she was planning on doing. So of course Betty keeps her part of the bargain, gives Cheryl the footage, which then she shows to her mom, who's like now got some of her bandages wrapped off. But Jughead gets a call from his dad, and dad's like, dude, don't work with Penny Peabody. That is not a relationship you want to have going on. Trust me on this. Gotta go. Click. So we know that's going to end up being bad news. Jughead using the serpents to try to save his dad is just going to go into a spiral of badness. It's very obvious. But keep it going. So of course they have the Save Pop Tate's party. Cheryl brings down the Vixens. Josie also gets wrapped up into it. They have to have a Pussycats performance, but Valerie isn't even around. And oh my God! Oh my God! Melody got a line! Yes! Melody talked in this episode. You know you love those chili cheese fries or whatever she said to Josie, but I was like, dang it, yes! Melody! She speaks! So of course, the Pussycats, with Cheryl taking the place of Valerie, decide to sing Milkshake because they're at Pop Tate's. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Tell me something. How is it that Milkshake, sung by Khalees, a black artist, is then resung by black women on this show and yet sounded whiter than I've ever heard it sound before?
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. They're like, it's better than yours, damn right. It's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge.
I'm like, what is this? I need that sugar to come back. Sugar, bam, 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 bam. Honey, honey. They're gonna taste you 36 flavors. But Pop Tate's, of course, is saved thanks to Betty's help and thanks to a charitable contribution by the Lodges. That gets us into Veronica's tale. Hiram is out of jail. He's back home. Veronica, of course, does not trust him. He's like, look, daughter, we need to chat. And she's like, I ain't got no time for you. So eventually they have a dinner where she sits down with Hiram and Hermione and she's like, hey, I got this letter from you, Dad, that said if I don't testify on your behalf, then this is going to bring Mom down with you. Did you or did you not send me that letter? And Hermione jumps in and says, no, Hiram did not send that letter. I wrote that letter because I needed you to work with me, so therefore I'm the one that's guilty. And also, an anonymous buyer was planning to buy Pop Tate's chocolate shop. Veronica's like, heard this story before. Is it you guys? And they're like, no, it's not us. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Why y'all even tripping? But Veronica believes the lies, and there's this really cool conversation between Jughead and Veronica where she asked Jughead, why did you decide to help your father out when you wanted to leave him in the past? And Jughead was like, he made an effort. So that changed my mind about him. Maybe your parents are doing the same. So Veronica gives him a second chance. They make this charitable donation to Pop Tate's to keep it open. Everyone's happy. It's the Lodges, man. They can't. They can't be good. They bought the place. They paid Pop to keep himself quiet so they could buy the place without anyone knowing and keep him on as manager to save face. But yeah, it's owned by the Lodges. And then on top of that, Hiram's all like, and hey, Hermione, thanks for lying again by saying that you wrote that letter when you know good and well that I wrote that letter. I like your loyalty. We cool. I'm Mark Consuelos. You can see me in 9 Lives. And then this is crazy. At one point, Smithers meets up with Veronica and he's like, you may want to go out the side entrance, not the front door, because he knew that Hiram was coming in, but Hiram caught him saying that. Next time they come home, Smithers all of a sudden has an ill relative out of town and needs to leave. He ain't even there no more. And now they got a brand new doorman named Andre. There's a character on Riverdale, season 2. New doorman, new butler for the Lodges, named Andre. Now, it could just be a total coincidence that the character's named Andre, but I'm just saying, season 2 of the show that I talked about entirely in season 1 now has a character on it named Andre. I cannot confirm or deny that that was inspiration on this end to that end, because that dude looked nothing like me. That is not the Andre that I see in this camera. But if that is somehow even a 0.001% inspired by this random dude talking about your show online, thank you. And thank you for making me look so damn fine on the show, because that is not Andre in real life. Andre in Riverdale All right, Andre in real life, not so much. But all's good. Pops is saved. Everyone's happy except for the fact that Archie got that gun and the fact that Alice Cooper brings up to Betty that, you know what, good job saving Pops, but now the Southside Serpents are hanging out here. Reggie's dealing drugs here. You basically just brought an entire criminal element closer and closer to our lovely part of Riverdale. But hey, good job. Good for you. But other than that, everything is good. Until Moose and Midge just bought some Jingle Jangle from Reggie. I can't say that with a straight face. They go out to the Lover's Peak area or whatever, and they start doing that Jingle Jangle, and then they hear a noise, and the Black Hood just walks up. Not even like scary walks up. Just casually walks over and goes, hey, there's Moose and Midge. Bang, 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 and shoots at them both. We don't see their dead bodies. We just see blood getting splattered in the car. So maybe, possibly, they could have survived that. But I don't know, man. But I was hurt because I was like, you can't kill Moose and Midge. Moose and Midge are like central characters in the Archie universe. Moose has even had his own comic book every once in a while, or his own stories in the Archie world. You can't take them out. What are you doing, Riverdale? These are essential characters. You're gonna make Penny Peabody a regular character when nobody's heard of her, but you're gonna kill Moose and Midge? You can't do that. Do you think they survived? It's still possible, right? We just saw blood. He could have missed. They could have just hit like a vein. Just like an arm or something. Don't kill Moose and Midge. Midge is like, this was like her first episode where she spoke. She was always like in the background somewhere, like, oh, there's Midge. Damn, man. Archie, Riverdale ain't playing around this season. They like, if you dead, wait, you dead. So this brings me to a theory that I have about the Black Hood. Hear me out here. Archie, of course, is all like, oh, the Black Hood is killing all these people or going after all these people I care about. But I'm thinking it might be a little bit deeper than that. Let's look at the people that have been attacked so far. You got Fred Andrews who got attacked. If you remember, Fred had a small, very short term, but small kind of affair with Hermione Lodge while Hiram was in jail. They were still married. Fred also had Mary Andrews coming to visit, but yet somehow he was trying to hook up with Hermione. Infidelity there. Then you got Miss Grundy, and we all know what she was up to. And then you got Moose, who, if you remember, was kind of having some secret rendezvous with Kevin. Even though he was in a relationship with Midge, he was also exploring or trying to find himself before realizing, oh yeah, I'm good with Midge. Could the Black Hood be purposely going after people who are in lies in their relationships? And if that's the case, who else has a bad relationship that could possibly be next? And I saw that little preview where you had Ethel walking on the street by herself and a car kind of following her or something like that. You can't take Ethel out, okay? We are just getting over Barb in Stranger Things. You can't take out Ethel too. That's just wrong. But all I'm saying is if you got a dark past or a troubled relationship going on in Riverdale, I would be concerned. I'd be concerned if I was the mayor because she got all kinds of bad dealings going on. The Blossoms and Coopers, they could be in danger because of that whole Jason Polly situation. Then isn't there like some older brother that supposedly the Coopers have that's not even around? Yeah, I feel like there's something really deep going on with this mystery and I'm really intrigued to see how it all plans out. And also kind of interesting that the song that ended this episode was Season of the Witch. And we keep going over to Greendale a lot. In both episodes of this season so far, we've had a reference to Greendale. So that's where Sabrina and her aunt supposedly live in the Archie world in general. So I'm just saying, what you setting up? What's Duff Cameron up to? She kind of quiet lately. Where's she at? What do you think about my Black Hood theory? Do you think that there's a relationship / justice thing going on there? Or is it something else? Who do you think might be next on the chopping block? Give me your thoughts and theories and everything in the comments. I want to hear what you think about Riverdale. Thank you so much for the people that watch these videos. I really do appreciate it. I know Riverdale is a very specific niche thing that some of you are into, some of you are not. It's understandable. That's why I make other videos as well. But for those of you that are watching these, I really do appreciate it because it seems like you really enjoy it. And I really enjoy talking about this. Archie was something I grew up with, I really love. And so to have this show out there that's related in this universe is very interesting and something cool to talk about. And if you like everything that I do, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Also ring that bell to be notified of future videos that I make. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Outie 5000, chain chomp yomp. Now I'm gonna go get me some Jingle Jangle. Jingle, jingle, jangle, do you hear my sleigh bells ring?